Hello, you're listening to Questboard, a podcast where we make up random side quests. My name is Brandon.
And I'm Tiffany. And just so you know, we are not professional writers in any way, shape, or form. At least we don't claim to be. We just really like tabletop RPGs, and we do this for fun.
That's right. How are you, Tiffany?
I'm doing good. Got to go see a really cool show yesterday, and I'm just still kind of riding off of that high.
Do you want to say the name of the show?
Well, I mean, it was Cirque du Soleil. Who's not excited about getting to go see Cirque du Soleil? Not just in an auditorium, no, in a freaking tent set up in a parking lot. It was under the big top. So it was like an actual circus. It was really neat. The show was Kuza.
Don't know that.
Yeah, it's an interesting, like, there's always a story to their shows. And it felt very like Alice in Wonderland or Wizard of Oz style, where it starts out with this guy who's like in black and white, but then everything ends up in color and he's just like in this fantastical world. And the ringmaster doesn't say a word the entire show. He's just got this really smug look on his face. And he's like, haha, look at me. I'm fabulous. Point at thing and it lights up. It was really neat.
Okay, before you explained it, I was thinking like, oh, it doesn't speak. He's just a mime in the center of the thing, just acting like...
There was a mime scene. It was great.
Oh, okay.
But that was some different clowns. Literal clowns.
That also reminds me, there is a legitimate like amount of people that have a fear of clowns.
Yeah, I do not recommend any Cirque du Soleil show for people who are afraid of clowns. Because...
Like, is it like stereotypically traditional clowns?
Yes, and there's also more modern clowns as well. But also, they go out into the audience and mess with people. So if you're afraid of them and they come up at you, that's going to be an issue. They're supposed to be fun. They're just trying to have fun. They aren't trying to be scary, and they usually have not scary makeup. It's usually really pretty and fanciful.
But a phobia is a phobia.
Except for the one dressed as a demon. That one was scary. But yeah, a phobia is a phobia.
Oh, they're fine, except for the one that's not fine.
Yeah. There was also one that looked like a skeleton. That was a cool mask. It wasn't like clown makeup or anything. They actually had a mask on, so I feel like, I don't know where a clown phobia would come into play with that. But lots of clowns.
It depends on the person, I guess.
But yeah, there was literally one like going around before the show, pretending to clean things. And there was another one that just had a bucket of popcorn. He was going around messing at people, throwing popcorn at people. At one point, he was balancing popcorn on someone's head.
That sounded remind me of this video. Total tangent, sorry.
It's okay.
Did you see that video of like, it was a SeaWorld or something like that, aquatic show? And there was a clown that was like right on the front of the tank. So it was in between the seats and the front tank thing.
Right.
And was just messing with people and decided to grab someone's phone and then like going to take a picture. But then he like jogs away like, oh, I'm running away with it and all that stuff.
They almost always do that.
And then turns around and is like, okay, here's your phone. And then stumbles and drops the phone into the water.
Oh, yeah.
And then he immediately grabs it and he's like all that stuff and freaking out like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And then pulls out the real phone and hands it back to them.
Yeah.
I think that's a viral video.
No, I'm pretty sure I've seen that one.
Unless it's just really targeting me because I've seen that several times.
That is a common thing, though, where they'll, like, grab something that belongs to someone and mess around with it and pretend to break it. And, aha, here's the real one all along. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways.
We're here to do a podcast, not talk about clowns.
Real quick, to go back to your lovely Cirque du Soleil.
Cirque du Soleil. Pretty sure it's French.
Well, we've already established how much I love the French language on this podcast. Out of 10 stars, how would you rate it? Just 10. without any spoilers or anything like that.
10 stars.
Oh, really?
All 10.
A perfect show. There will be no better show than this. Okay,
fine. 9 stars. Ka, the show in Vegas, got 10. Also, okay. Cirque du Soleil. So, I've seen at least 3 of their shows to my memory. I've also seen another troupe called Cirque Italia. So, very similar, but not as big.
Well, thank you for listening to Tiffany's Circus Review Podcast. Join us next week on name another circus quick.
I don't know many circuses.
God.
Ringling Brothers?
Join us next week when Tiffany reviews the Ringling Brothers.
Do I get to go see one of their shows?
That's if we get money from this podcast. No.
Oh, okay, fine.
So no.
Well, on that note.
Okay. Anyways, we got actual tabletop RPG podcast.
What?
Yeah, I don't know how like our demographic is going to feel about a rant or a discussion about circuses.
Yeah. Would it be Circus Psy? Or is it circuses?
I don't know.
Because it ends in an S sound, so.
Anyways, I don't think the demographic for people who likes tabletop RPGs, not a lot of them fall within the demographic of people who really like circuses.
I mean, that's fair. But also, you never know. I enjoy both.
You know what? Down in the comments.
My husband enjoys both.
Down in the comments.
Yeah.
If you belong to both parties, let us know so that Tiffany won't feel alone.
Yeah.
But anyways, we'll focus on tabletop RPGs right now.
Okay.
You got dice?
I got him. 63.
I'm pretty sure we've done that before.
Yeah, I think we've hit. I know we've done all of the
63.
50s.
My missing pet. That's prop hunt.
Oh my gosh. It is.
Would you like to go up or down?
Let's go down.
Okay. I'm not reading all of these because they're all been done before.
Oh, shoot. We're going to go
Because
through a
we're
lot.
going from 63 all the way down to
Maybe we should go up.
49.
Wow.
Every other thing in between has been done before.
Nice.
So, 49. Taste tester needed. Lord Blank, I guess we'll come up with a name, needs a qualified taste tester for upcoming banquet to fulfill recently vacated position. That implies death.
I wonder why.
Benefits include all you can eat food and drink, provided medical care, and I think you need that a lot. Lodging and pay per taste. Dwarvish candidates preferred because they're resistant to poison.
Mm-hmm.
Inquire at that Lord's name's manor.
You know what I also learned recently?
What?
Stout halflings, also resistant to poison.
Yeah. My Warforce I played is, but that's impossible.
I don't know if that would count.
I don't think that would count.
Huh. Okay, so taste tester needed. This sounds like a steady job, so I don't know what party would want to apply for this.
We're coming off the gate saying this like, oh, this is just another one of those horrible ones that's really hard for us to bounce off of.
It's like a good job for someone to take in that type of world, but also not good for an adventuring party who's going to be taking off and traversing across the land.
Who kills dragons and demons and
Oh my.
very high power things.
I said oh my too soon.
God. But yeah, like this is just another one of those mundane things
Yeah,
that like
it's
we
a
can't
normal-
expect them to actually want to do this.
It is a normal job. So, how do we turn this into a quest? What if, they do take the job, maybe just as a temporary gig while they're in town or something, and they taste something and it does not have poison in it whatsoever, like whatever they taste, but then the Lord eats it and dies.
Okay, then how would that happen? And so does this turn into... Are we making murder mystery?
Ooh, are we?
One, that's really hard to make.
Yeah.
Two, it's even harder as an improv thing we're doing right now.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Unless you got something else.
I have nothing else because this is really hard.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I think if we're gonna go that route, we need two things. One, what's the Lord's name?
Alistair.
And we could just say last name.
Oh, I had a first name.
Okay.
There's one on my list that just popped down. Alistair. Alistair?
Alistair what?
Um,
Apparently Alistair's gonna die. I'm sorry.
I need a good Lord name. Give me a good, Lord. Ooh, McPherson. Or Sutherland.
I think Sutherland sounds better.
Whitaker?
No, that's not lordy enough.
Dickerson?
That's too immature. I'm fine with Sutherson.
Okay.
Because I think that would be like a southern lord.
Sutherland. It literally means Southland.
Yeah.
Lord of the South.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's a family that looked over the southern region of the kingdom.
So we have Alistair. That is spelled Alastair. So it's either Alistair or Alastair. Sutherland. That would be Sutherland. Sutherland.
Okay. So we got the first part of my thing cleared. Second one is, how does a poison affect one person but not the taster?
It's either a time release poison, so it hasn't like activated yet when the taster is tasting it, and it activates when the Lord is tasting it, or it is keyed to specific people, like magic poison. It only affects the person it was made for.
If that, I feel like if that, yes, that you could use as an explanation, but I feel like if that was explained in the world, players would argue about that.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
I do enjoy a good murder mystery story myself. There is another possibility. Someone has been slowly poisoning the Lord over time, and it finally built up enough in his system to kill him.
But then how did the last taster died?
It doesn't say he died. It just says,
It kinda
recently
implies
vacated
it.
position. Maybe this person just couldn't handle the stress of this. Or they died of old age. Or died of some other reason. Or just moved. They found a better job.
I mean, yeah, it could be that. They don't state that specifically, but
Yeah, just recently vacated.
it kind of is implied.
Everyone else may assume died. But maybe, like, if they don't ask, it's just, oh, or if they do ask, oh, yeah, no, he just decided to move a town over to take care of his ailing mother-in-law.
Sure. What happens if Lord Alistar is a high elf in which there's like a specific poison that only affects elves? Oh no, that's still just like a cop out, I feel like.
Yeah, but what if an elf takes the position?
I know, that's also.
I mean,
yeah.
dwarves preferred, obviously, but yeah. I'm guessing it would be Sutherland Manor as well.
Yeah, obviously.
That'd be the other blank.
Lord Sutherland at Sutherland Manor.
Mm-hmm. They tend to name their houses after themselves.
Okay, I feel like once we actually get how he was murdered, like what kind of poison killed Alistair and like how he was murdered, that's the primary thing about a murder mystery. So
Yeah, I know.
we're trying to figure out the very big chunk of it.
What if it's not poison? It's like the one thing he's actually worried about is not what gets him.
Okay, elaborate.
I don't have anything else.
I thought you were going for something. I thought you were picking up pace.
I know, I was working on it.
What if it was like the head butler who did it, in which the butler serves the taster food to taste it and then swaps it out with something else to feed to the actual Lord, so then the taster doesn't get affected? It was a different food that was actually poisoned.
You're just making me think of One Piece right now.
Oh, God.
This actually happens in the live action show as well.
There's no such thing as original ideas anymore.
Yeah. No, there's a butler that's slowly poisoning the lady.
No, I'm
of
talking
the
about
house,
one-time poison.
I know. I'm just saying it's the butler that did it, which is obvious from the start because he just has the face of somebody who would do a murder.
Everyone has the face of someone who could do a murder, in my opinion.
You know, that's fair. There's a lot of times you'll see a murderer's picture and you're like, really? They look like such a nice person, but you never know.
That's why if you see a nice old lady neighbor, you take her out.
No.
Disclaimer, Brandon is joking.
Don't go out and attack.
I'm
random
sure
old
me
ladies.
saying that won't be like, I won't be liable.
Mm.
And if they claim that, then our podcast will get some publicity and on the news. So I view that as a win.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, so I'm okay with the butler doing it. Do we need to name the butler?
So it's going to be where, like I said, the butler will feed the player food. Or it could be all of them could be the tester, a taste tester.
Mm-hmm.
Butler will feed them food, but then they would swap it out somehow. How would they swap it out? Because I imagine taste testers normally
Eat off the plate that the
yeah,
king
the
is eating
food
off
will
of.
be served to a person, and then they would just come in and taste every single like portion
Right.
right in front of the person,
Mm-hmm.
and then step back. Unless we're gonna do it a different way.
Is it in the drink, maybe? But they would have to taste that too. It's rough. It's kind of hard to get around an official taster. That's why the position exists.
I know, right?
Anyway, I've got a name for the butler while we try to think of
Okay, fine.
how the Lord dies. Solomon.
Solomon.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a good butler name, isn't it?
Yeah. So we're gung ho on the butler doing it.
Why is the butler killing the king?
The Lord?
The Lord, sorry. Yes, I've been thinking king this whole time. Yes, Lord. Ooh, is this a long con vengeance kind of thing? Like,
that's what I was kind of leaning towards, but I'm like, isn't that used too much?
I mean, yeah, but there's also the other one where the butler's been trying to get in the Lord's good graces and trying to get him to leave him a bunch of money and stuff.
What happens if just like the butler's having an affair with the Lord's wife, and so if he kills him, then the lady will marry him, and then he can finally be a noble status.
That's fun. So here's a fun idea of where the poison could have come from. What if it wasn't the butler that did it, but the wife? She wants to get rid of her stuffy old lord husband.
Can we make Alistair like 80 years old and the wife is only like 25?
That's reasonable, at least in this day and age. Well, I mean, in that day and age. In this day and age,
It's still feasible in this day and age.
it is. It is. It's creepy, but it's feasible. Okay, so what is her name? How about Helena?
Helena Sutherland.
Does that work?
You know, that's a southern kind of sounding name.
Okay. So Helena and Solomon are having an affair, and Helena wants to get rid of Alistair.
Mm-hmm.
Alistair, however you say his name. And so she's the one who poisons him. I've seen a method of poisoning that works best if it's a woman doing it. They put on poisonous lipstick, but they have a layer underneath so it's not touching their skin. And when they kiss, that gets the poison in the person's system.
What if her food is actually poison, but she does the whole, husband dearest, have some of this.
Oh, yeah, you must try this. It's so delicious.
Yes.
Hmm.
And then spoon feeds him the actual poisoned food.
Yeah, that could work.
That will also, don't you hate in movies where when a food is poisoned, it's after like 3 bites of it and then they start coughing up blood, even though that's not how poisoned food works?
Right.
Because I kind of want it to be poison food so that possibly the players will get blamed because they're the taste testers.
I have a better idea.
Okay.
It's not the food that's poisoned. It's his spoon. The spoon has been coated with poison, and as he's using it to eat, or fork, whatever eating device, and as he's eating with it, the poison is slowly activating with his saliva and stuff and getting into his system.
Why? This slimy coated spoon is god dreadful, but I'll still eat with it.
Not all poison's gonna be slimy. You're
that was
thinking like
my first thought, okay.
You're thinking like the poison apple from Cinderella? Nope. Snow White. That one. Like with the ooze dripping down it and it's all green and grody looking. Not all poison looks like that. It could literally be a clear substance that has dried onto the spoon.
Both could work.
Yeah.
But if we want to imply that the wife killed, that's why I was thinking that. Because the spoon one, that could have been butler and wife.
Yes. Maybe like before the meal, the party sees the wife like pick up a spoon and be like, oh, this won't do. It's dirty. And goes and replaces it with the poisoned spoon.
Why would she get up and do it when the butler would do it? Or a servant?
Mm.
They're rich.
Maybe she's pretending to fret over her very old husband.
But usually nobles don't physically do stuff like that.
Maybe that's
why
it's obvious.
We could still say the butler did it.
Okay, the butler did it.
It was they're in cahoots, but it's just
cahoots is a fun word.
The butler still poisoned him.
Okay,
that's still fine. It still works with our
you just really
plot.
Everyone always suspects the butler.
Everyone always suspects the wife because money.
That's fair. So
we're doing 2 very big cliches.
It's the most obvious thing. It was the butler having an affair with the wife.
I mean, we could make it just a random like stable boy having an affair with the wife.
Spicy.
I think that's like in the romance novels.
That's like Princess Bride. Farm boy, fetch me that pitcher. As you wish.
Okay. So are we doing butler?
I mean, I've got a butler in my head, so
yeah, fine.
It was the butler. Let's go with the most obvious cliche so that the party's just like, nah, it can't be the butler.
No, you know what? We need to do obvious cliche because we've said this 1,000 times. D&D parties are stupid and they will miss the most obvious cues. So let's stick with stereotypical stuff.
Okay.
That's our justification.
And it's already difficult because it's the spoon.
Yes.
Or fork. Or maybe it's just all of his silverware, just to make sure he actually uses the right one.
So let's say food happens, right? Dinner happens.
Mm-hmm.
We got to describe some events that might somewhat be misleading. We need to provide like multiple routes.
Okay.
Actually, you know what? Last time I tried a murder mystery where I did that, it didn't pan out so well. So maybe you shouldn't listen to me. But either case, night comes. Lord Alistair will die that night. Then they're going to, a doctor is going to view him, say it was through poisoning.
Yeah.
Then all eyes are going to look at the party.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe the wife will try to throw the party under the bus
Most likely. Yeah. Be like,
or under the wagon.
you were supposed to be tasting the food. How did you not notice it was poison? Because you'd think, yes, the taster is tasting the food off the king's plate, but probably using their own utensils.
Lord's plate, not king.
Oh my gosh, the Lord, not the king. My bad. Usually when there's official tasters, it's for kings and royalty and stuff. So I don't think of lords as
A
having
lord
official
of the
tasters.
entire Southern Territory is big enough.
Probably fat enough.
As long as they're rich enough to pay someone to do it and they believe that they're going to be poisoned
That's
because
true.
of enemies, anyone could do it.
I just need to get my brain around the fact that it's a lord and not a king. My bad.
If I ever win the lottery, I'm going to hire you as my food taster. Make you worried that it's going to be poisoned.
But I'm a picky eater.
Well, you don't want $100K a year?
I mean, I'll just tell you the things I don't like are poison so I don't have to eat them anymore.
You're a horrible food taster.
Loopholes.
You're going to get bad review on Yelp.
I mean, how am I supposed to know if it's poison or not? It tastes bad.
Well, you're going to die if it is poisoned.
Good point.
That's the point of a food taster.
Yeah.
Anyways,
The real question, though, is if poison takes so long to take effect, then what's the point of having the food taster taste right before the king tastes if the king's still going to eat the poison?
for the fast-acting ones, I don't know.
What about the slow ones?
I really do not know. Anyway,
So here's a thought. What if it's not actually poison? Yeah, I know I'm doing this. What if the wife and the butler were planning to poison the Lord? I remembered. But they're trying a new delicacy from a distant land today. And taster tastes it. It's fine. And the king...
are you just
sorry,
implying
Lord,
that he died of allergies?
anaphylactic shock.
I realize what you're doing halfway through.
Yeah, I said king again. I'm sorry. Lord discovers that he has an allergy.
How will the party prove their innocence then?
Everyone thinks it's poison because of the reaction, but then I don't know, maybe they get like a cleric or someone in, or someone who has the ability to flat up detect poison, which is a literal spell in D&D, by the way. And they're like, wait, this wasn't poison.
Well, by the same thing, then in this world of magic, they could, instead of a food taster, they just have always on them a scroll of cure poison or lesser restoration.
Yeah.
And that would cure it.
Yep,
And you won't die.
most likely.
Magic ruins a lot of things.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's also like, isn't there literally a spell, detect poison or something like that?
I'm not exactly sure.
Let me go check. I mean, we don't really need to know this, but I'm curious. Detect poison and disease. It's a first level spell. Second level is protection from poison.
Also, if you're rich enough, you could cast protect from poison every meal.
Yeah, it's only a second level spell. So really, there's no point for someone. Oh my gosh. Guess what the material is? Okay, nope, I was looking at the wrong thing. Yeah, the material for detect poison and disease. A yew leaf. It's not even expensive things. It's a leaf from a specific plant. So
Yeah, it ruins our entire plot.
it really does. It ruins the entire point of even having a taster.
Is that how we're going to end this episode?
Well, I mean, if anyone in the party has that spell, they're going to know right away whether or not something's poison.
Well, anyone in the party, no party wants to do this. Be a food taster?
I know. Are we
you could.
are we literally ending this episode with nobody wants to do this? Why do we even have this episode in the first place?
No, because we've had several of those postings before. I think you could easily have this be a mandatory thing, though.
Yeah.
Because if, like, plot-wise, you want to be invited to a banquet that's held at the Lord's Manor
Mm-hmm.
to get close to someone else, and they're not lords, then this is their way in
Yeah.
to meet the person.
That is true. So to get around the whole detect poison and disease thing, anaphylactic shock is the way to go because it's not poison. It's just an allergy.
Yeah, right.
But it could, like, in the process of trying to figure out what happened, uncover the plot of the wife and the butler who were trying to get rid of the Lord in the first place. It could just be a happy accident.
Don't say the death of someone as a happy accident.
For them, not for anyone else. Definitely not the Lord.
Here's a happy little dead bush.
Oh, it's like Deadpool painting.
And let's put a little gravestone there. A happy little gravestone. Poor Alistair.
Oh my gosh.
You need a little dark in order to see the light. It really brings out the light. I watch a lot of episodes, okay?
I don't blame you. It's a good show.
I have like 32 seasons of it downloaded.
You do realize there's a Twitch channel that plays it 24/7.
Yeah, but
Okay.
I want the digital copy of it.
That's fair.
Anyways, okay, so we do that then.
Okay.
Died of allergies.
Yeah. Because that's a way to get around the fact that anyone who can do first level spells,
I mean,
or any cleric, druid, paladin, or ranger that can do first level spells, could detect this.
the party could defend themselves by getting a high enough medicine check to prove that, hey, there's no signs of actual poisoning or damage to the body. It's just a swollen closed throat.
Mm-hmm.
That's how he dies.
Yep.
At the banquet.
And no one had an EpiPen.
That's not a thing.
Not in this world.
Well, their EpiPen is what? Lesser restoration.
Maybe?
I don't know what would classify as an EpiPen for like allergies in a spell. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like lesser restoration will be the closest thing.
Okay. Lesser restoration only cures blinded, deafened, paralyzed, or poisoned.
Of course, there's no condition for allergies.
I'm just saying.
I feel like that will be the
It's one
closest thing.
Disease or one condition. So those 4 conditions or a disease, none of which this falls under.
Tiffany,
I know. I'm well aware.
I want you, okay, look up any spell. They're not going to say anaphylactic shock.
Definitely.
I'm saying the closest possible thing.
No. Greater restoration could fix this.
Okay, what's that?
You imbue a creature you touch with positive energy to undo a debilitating effect.
That's it?
No, there's more. It's just very complicated. You can reduce the target's exhaustion level by 1 or end one of the following effects on the target. Charmed or petrified. 1 curse. Any reduction to one of the target's ability scores. 1 effect reducing the target's hit point maximum. That's what it could fall under.
Allergies is just reducing hit point maximum.
Pretty much. It's lowering, I don't know. Or any reduction to one
He's
of the target's
gonna die.
ability
Why
scores.
are we looking this up? He's gonna die.
I'm just saying, greater restoration could save the Lord in that moment. But it's a 5th level spell.
I was about to say, yeah. This will probably be an easy lower level quest.
Mm-hmm.
That could be also a case of how the players could defend themselves. Like, oh, they do cast lesser restoration and nothing happens and he still dies.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone will see that. And so then it's like, oh, it's not the food taster if
Wasn't
this
poison.
spell was cast on him and he still died. So
Yeah.
they didn't fail their job. Something else happened.
Unless somebody knows Revivify. Just bring him back after he died.
Now I'm picturing like Gale from Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah.
Have you ever killed him?
No.
Okay. If he ever dies, then a holographic version of himself will appear and it says, "Hi, this is a pre-recorded message in which I seem to be dead. And you're the lucky soul that could help me out here," or something like that. Paraphrasing, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Please go through my bag, in which then you'll find this nifty compartment thing. You have to do this, and it's along that you have to then do in order by multiple choice and get it right. And then it'll open up and you get that Revivify scroll that you get throughout the game.
Yeah.
So that you can revive him.
Nice.
And if you don't, then after like 1 act, then game over. Because he has that lovely thing in his chest.
Oh, yeah, that.
All I thought was that when you
Mm-hmm.
talked about Revivify.
I'm just saying that could technically bring him back after he dies. It's a 3rd level spell. So make sure you give this to your party before they get 3rd level spells, and then things will go as you want them to.
Well, it's also very expensive. You have to have a
Diamond's worth
diamond
300 gold,
That's a lot.
which you lose.
Yeah. So that will happen. Party will have to defend themselves, either saying, "Hey, we cast lesser restoration, nothing happened."
Wasn't poison.
Medicine check to say, "Hey, there's no signs of actual poison."
Mm-hmm.
The food tasters could straight up just eat the food he just ate to prove that it's not you.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, what real quick, what kind of clues like to investigate? So they don't know it's allergies or anything, but they still have to investigate what caused it.
Mm-hmm.
What will reveal about the wife and butler's plot?
That's actually a good question. Maybe she...
Or do we just not have that side plot? They have to defend themselves. Because if we do a thing where it's like, oh, the players are forced, so then to meet someone else.
Maybe it can come to light that the wife and the butler were having an affair, but they weren't planning to kill him. They were just having an affair because he's old and...
Okay.
Yeah.
How would that be revealed?
Maybe moments in time where they can't prove where they were at specific times because they were together and they don't want to say.
Everyone is going to be at the banquet
Yes,
eating.
but where were they before the banquet?
Okay, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
You see, this is the one of the hard things about making a murder mystery.
Yes.
That's you can't really do it as an improv.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing as making a treasure map, and I've learned that.
Yes, we've learned. So no more murder mysteries, but we sort of made one. It wasn't even poison.
Yeah, that's our quest board twist, where we made something that's like a complete left turn.
Yeah.
Where it wasn't even poison. So I guess we'll end it here, and we'll just, what do we want to say canonically is ours, where this is the path we set on. Players will apply for being tasters. They get the job, obviously.
Yeah.
They try out the food at the banquet, socialize or whatever.
Yes.
If they need to actually socialize or get contact with someone that, like, per their campaign.
Right.
Then they taste the food.
Mm-hmm.
And then the lord dies because of allergies.
Mm-hmm.
They get accused either through defending themselves or proving that it wasn't through poison or anything like that. And they're
Right.
fine. They didn't mess up on their jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Are they going to discover what about the butler and the wife? The affair and trying to kill them? And
No, just the affair.
Just the affair?
Not that they were planning to kill him, but the players could think maybe for a minute that they were trying to get rid of the Lord. But it comes to find out that no, they're just having an affair.
Okay, somewhat small double twist.
Yeah.
After that, I guess it's either they find out that's through allergies or we'll never find out, but they were left go because they proved that they didn't murder or poison.
Like whether or not they find out it was just allergies that killed the Lord, like they get proven innocent.
Okay. And then that's just, they're free to go if they want.
Pretty much.
And then that's the end of the quest.
Yeah. I know, like, in those days, they always want to find some culprit. But if they prove without a shadow of a doubt that no one actually killed this guy, then, yeah, there's no one to take to jail.
Okay. I guess that is our quest.
Mm-hmm.
Well, GMs, good luck.
Unless they're eating pufferfish for the first time.
No, don't do that. Well, if you put this in your campaign, we gave you an idea of how to do it as a plot device of getting to know a important person that would be at a Lord's Manor, if you want to use that. If you do put it into your campaign, let us know how it went, or if you actually turn this into a better murder mystery than us.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure you have a lot more time and better brains than us to actually come up with one. Let us know on Twitter at QuestBoardPod or down in the comment section of this YouTube video if you're watching on YouTube. And if you have a quest of your own that you want to suggest to us, hopefully something way better than this, let us know on the other platform. I think with that, I wish you all a good night.
And happy questing.